Aloha, my beautiful and wonderful empaths out there, my surfers of the energies out there. Thank you so much for tuning back into this week's energy reading that we have, especially for empaths and highly sensitives. If you don't know me yet, my name is May. I always like to say, an energy coach or an energy wave or current savant who helps other empaths and highly sensitives, especially entrepreneurs, how to surf through those energies, how to really, embrace their gift as empaths and how they can use that for their, entrepreneurial work that they do on a daily basis. And not just that, because for me, it's not about only understanding, once you understand your gift, that's it. No, it's about actually embracing it and really stepping into your power in a way that helps you become the wonderful creator that you are meant to be. And I have created these readings for you as a help on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, but to help you understand the energy waves that are coming in. We are influenced by the energies of the moon, of the portal days, and of the planets that are surrounding us, and that are always around us. And I always say, of course, as the creators we are, those energies don't need to mess with our lives in that way. But the more we understand the energies that are happening, that's when we can understand where healing wants to happen, or where the universe might be telling us to have a look, because sometimes we don't look in the right direction. And with, understanding these energies helps us get into that. And that's why we have these readings. If you haven't taken part yet in my readings, you're going to see that I have 5 piles in total. For those of you watching, for those of you listening in, I'll explain. We have one deck on the upper left side. That's the first one. And for this week, because we're doing the week of July 31st till August 6th. And in this week, we're going to have one full moon on August 1st and a portal day on August 5th. So those two very intensive energetic days are going to be represented by the pile up left. Again, with those energetic days, sometimes we tend to experience something on those specific days. Sometimes it might be like physical sensations. Sometimes it's emotional things. Those special, and I'm calling them all special days because actually we're supposed to have every day as a special day, but understanding specifically, the moon, the lunar energies, the portal days, and the planets sometimes helps us understand what is going on in our lives. I've had portal days where nothing happened, no experience, no sensations and nothing. And that's also fine, because that also, that means that whatever topic those portal days bring in don't necessarily resonate or fit into the path where you are in that moment. All right. But that's why I find it important to have, ask the spirits to guide us with the cards, to tell us, what are those energies about? And if it resonates with you, then you have a little guidance towards where you should look. And if not, it's okay. And then we have on the right top side, we have the general pile that will, the general pile or deck that we will be reading for, the week from July 31st till August 6th. That gives us an overall energy there. And then we have the personal cards, on the bottom. And again, for those of you that are only listening in, we have the Palo Santo on the left side, the opal in the center. It's a rose opal from the Andean Mountains. And we have a feather on the right-hand side from one of my favorite birds. And so here with this, and in case someone's asking, no, I didn't go and rip it off of bird. It was, it was a gift from nature. It was lying there in our backyard, actually, in our garden. All right. So you take a moment to connect with yourself, with your week, look into, 31st of July, August 1st, look into that energy, feel into that energy, and see which of these 3 resonates with you. It might be the rose opal, it might be, the Palo Santo, it might be the feather, it might be even more than one. Allow yourself to follow whatever your intuition tells you that is the right thing. In case you need more time, pause the audio or pause the video and, feel until you know which one of those and how many of those are going to be your personal message for this week. And while you are doing this, I am going to be calling in. I call in all our ancestors. I'm calling in all our spirit guides, no matter if we're working with angels, if we're working with power animals, if we're working with, spirit guides, spiritual healers, all those energies out there. If you feel the calling, if it's your turn for this week for us, please come forward. Please come join us in this wonderful circle to help us understand the energies that are going to be coming on to us this week. So be it. All right, my beautiful ones. I'm going to get started with the reading. And as I mentioned before, we're starting with the special ones with the full moon energy and the portal day energy. And we're going to see what they are going to be teaching us or sharing with us for this week. So we're starting with affirmation of appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. Appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. I wanted to repeat this one so that you know how appreciation can help us. So whenever you feel stuck, and this might be something coming up this week, bring yourself, whenever you feel a little bit stuck of what you want to create in your life, or let go in your life, or, whatever your healing stages that you're in, bring back appreciation for yourself, for the work that you have done, for the people that are surrounding you. And the more you do that, the more this will support and help you release whatever is blocking you to create whatever you want to create. Sometimes we feel like, hey, I can't, it's so hard to release this. It's so hard to let go. Well, allow yourself to go back into appreciation for maybe past moments where you were letting go of something, or maybe past moments where you were able to create something. I know that if you look hard enough, you're going to see a moment that was defining for you. So go into appreciation for that moment, and it will help you, transform the situation in the now. All right, the second card that I have for you from this full moon is the Traveler, and move in a new direction. Here we go. So it's about moving into a new direction. This full moon is bringing us some new input. So allow yourself, right? So this is something that we sometimes need to let go, is when we are so much in our head deciding it has to happen this way. Bring yourself out of that. Connect yourself with your heart. Connect your heart, your heart, and your intuition, your belly. I always see like the three dots that we have. It's our dantian, or the center that we have below our belly button, then our heart, and then it goes up to the third eye that connects us with our higher self. So connect yourself and allow yourself. You are the traveler. You're here to be a traveler. So it's time to move into a different direction. And from the ancestral energy, we have the Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. Graceful in movement and action. This may look, again, we're moving towards a different direction. So do that with grace. All right, with yourself. Be graceful with yourself. That's an important message as well. And here we go. We have the snake. So it's about shedding old skin. Shed old skin. Allow anything that is not necessary for you anymore to be released and to let go of it. All right. And the last one from this full moon and from this, portal day is the Hermit, telling us to retreat and recharge. All right. So this might be the different direction that you have been looking for, to actually, retreat into a space where you can recharge yourself. And again, when it comes from the full moon, the energy that this is talking about is sort of for the, more or less for the next 2 weeks until we have the next new moon, right? So take this into account, that this is not just for this week. This is a little bit longer. Remind yourself to to give attention to what you want to create. So be grateful of everything that you already have that you're bringing in. Allow yourself to step into that traveling energy. It's about taking a different approach, taking a different direction. And I think it's interesting that these cards are coming up for this full moon, because I just read earlier that the full moon is bringing us energies in to actually reinvent ourselves. So this is the interesting part when it comes to the retreat and the recharge, because it's about looking inward, looking at ourselves. How are we feeling? Right? Where do we want to go? Where is this taking us? Right? Where is this path taking us? And it might take us somewhere else. Maybe it's time, to be honest about maybe certain things that you've been yearning but not allowing yourself to say or to think or to be, right? So be, like it says, be graceful with yourself. In any kind of movement, be graceful with yourself. Show yourself some compassion. You're an amazing being. And it's time to go into the right direction where you're supposed to be. All right? Okay, so let's see at the general cards for the week of July 31st till August 6th. And this is the Eagle. We're starting off with the Eagle. So it's see from a higher perspective, right? I love eagle eye view. By the way, the feather, I know I'd like to tell you, the German name of the bird is Milan, Rot Milan. I have tried to find a translation, but I can't. Apparently there's no English word, at least that I haven't found. If you do, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. All right. And I'm just mentioning it because that bird is similar like the eagle. So you have a higher perspective. You have to take a step back, fly higher, look over everything. It's going to change your perspective, and it might help you understand more of what's happening right now. Then we have for you the affirmation, when I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. I love that so much. I love that so much because it's perfectly said. This sentence is so perfect. So I'm going to repeat it for you. When I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. Allow that to sink in, right? For me, this is like a prolongation, like an extension of the hermit that we just had with the full moon, right? So it's okay to take a break. Sometimes in taking a break, we get a lot more done, or the universe gets a lot more done for us than if we would be, in complete action all the time with it. And here we go. See, I love, and you're going to see, whenever you see my readings, you're going to see, I celebrate how the synchronicity of the cards work. It doesn't matter how much I shuffle them beforehand. It's like, oh my God, it's like there's a magic hand bringing them. Of course, I mean, that's spirit working there. See, in stillness, I receive is the next card that we have. In stillness, I receive. So on one hand, it's for you to be patient and allow the universe to do. And on the other hand, it tells you, in stillness you receive. So the more stillness you create in yourself, the more you will receive. And one of the things, and I want to add to this, because I know that we have the tendency sometimes, living in the world that we are living in, we have this tendency of, oh no, but I have to be doing. I have to be doing all the time. I have to be creating. I have to be, working. And this is coming from someone who loves working. I love working and I love creating, for myself and for my clients, and everything that I do, I'm doing it with a very high passion. Some people might even call me workaholic, but for me, it's not workaholic because I'm working, I'm being my creative self the way I want it to be. And I love it. I love doing it. I couldn't imagine a world and a life without it anymore. And when this talks about this stillness, in stillness I receive, we have a tendency that when we're on a spiritual path, we tend to, oh no, I have to go and meditate to release this, or I have to, I have to, the shoulds, we start doing the shoulds instead of, leaving them somewhere else. We start to bring the shoulds into our spiritual world too, because, oh my God, this year is ending, so I should be transforming, or I should be transcending, or I should be, all the shoulds that we don't need. Sometimes it's just about being quiet with ourselves, It doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to take a break of work. Of course, if you have the feeling that it has to do with this, please do it. But, look into yourself, feel into it. Does it mean that I'm not supposed to be working right now? Or does it mean that I'm not supposed to be doing my spiritual work, what I think is work, for my spiritual side? Sometimes the best thing that we can do for certain things is just be, right? Just be yourself. Just be whatever it needs to be in that moment, because we tend to pressure ourselves on the spiritual level as well. So it's about, getting to be that. And the more you listen to yourself, you will know that, okay, right now, I asked my spirit guides, do I have to do, like, how do I release this? Do I have to? And then, I've had that a couple of times already when I'm like, hey, what should I do with this? Like, do I have, like, what do you want me to do? Should we do a ritual? Should we do, like this? And then spirit just looks at me and goes like, no, you're just be right now. Just be, and years before I would have felt bad, like, oh my God, no, but I have to do something. I have to, like, I'm supposed to, I want to heal. I want to, but my trust with my spirit guides has become so big that when they tell me just be, I just do that. I don't do anything else. And the important thing, the interesting thing and the wonderful thing, and that's the magical thing that we call into our lives when we are this way more and more, when we go more into that trust and faith, is that the moment I do that, a couple of days later, maybe a week later, everything is gone. Whatever I was struggling with before, it's like, it's gone. It's gone like magic. Like someone, took out a wand and said, eeny, meeny, miny, abracadabra, and then it just, poof, it's gone. It's done. That's everything that I had to do, is set the intention with my spirit guides and then let them do their work. And this is, this is what the universe was saying here, right? The more we let go, the more patient we are, the more the universe can do things for us that we might not be able in that moment. All right, another beautiful card that we have here for this week is the Broken Arrow. Embrace the energy of peace. Here we go. See? It says here, oh my God, see how they fit together? I love it. When you're patient, the universe does what you can't do. In stillness, you receive. Embrace the energy of peace. Allow yourself, your warriors inside of you, to have peace. To be in peace with themselves and with everything surrounding them. All right, and the last card for this week is Winter. Take care of your needs. Here we go, what I just mentioned, and this is one of the things that I love whenever we're called. If the full moon is calling us and the portal day is calling us to go into retreat and recharge, and then for this week we receive the Winter card that tells us to take care of our needs. It's time to listen in, to feel into your body. What do you need right now? That's all you can do. What do you need right now? And follow that. Let's take a deep breath for this information that we received for this week. Thank you so much to the spirits that are surrounding us and helping us with this. Beautiful. All right, now I'm going to go into the personal reading. So if you felt or resonated with the Palo Santo here on the left, a little piece of wood, then this is your personal message. We're going to get started for you with, I am kind and loving toward others while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feeling emotion. I love this. We are allowed to be kind and, and loving to everybody else, but we're also allowed to set boundaries for ourselves. And it works together. Like, you can set boundaries in a nice and kind way. All right. So for this week, it's important that you protect what your good feeling mood. So if anybody else out there is trying to put you down or, make you feel uncomfortable because of your good feelings, it's okay that they have whatever they're feeling right now. And it's okay for you to feel whatever you feel right now. And it's okay for you to say, right now, I don't want to hear whatever's happening, or or you can tell me for 5 minutes, but then I don't want to hear it anymore because I want to be in the positive energy. Sometimes it's about saying no to someone. And that is being kind. Right? And it's also nice to say no to yourself. Meaning being kind to yourself. And saying no to that negative energy that wants to pull you down. Because, oh no, I have to take care of everybody else. No. You're allowed to not want to take care of everybody else. It's okay to take a week of break. The more you go back into your power, and you can do that if you give yourself a break, and when you're back in your power, that's when you can support more. That's when you can support more. So maybe you just need a couple of days to take a break. For the other person, it's not that bad, because you're going to be there for them after 3 days, after a week. You'll be there for them. But right now, you might need your space. So take that space for yourself, all right? The next card that we have is the Seer. See beyond the current situation. Wow, so this is another one like the eagle that we just had in the general card. So this is for you to take a look at things from a different, from a different perspective. So if you can, take a step back from whatever situation you're in. Take a step back and look at the greater picture. All right? And the last card that I have for you is, when I'm connected to spirit, I feel a sense of certainty, magnitude, and ease that I've never known before. Does this sentence resonate with you? If it does not, please allow yourself to follow the steps that are just said in the sentence, which means connect yourself with your spiritual guidance. If it is God, if it is the universe, if it's the source, whatever you perceive as your own spiritual guidance, connect yourself and be sure that whatever entity that is, it's there to help you, to support you, to bring you forward, to help you on your path. All right? Okay, if you resonated with the rose opal from the Andean Mountains, these are your cards. And we're starting with the Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times. Trust your talents in changing times. You are, wow. And see here, again, I celebrate this. We were just talking about taking different directions. So trust your talents, taking different directions. If it is a little bit hard for you to to feel the gratitude and to, bring that energy up for yourself so that you can trust it, go back in your biography, go back in your past, where have you already managed to do what you have done? Where have you shown the talents that you are going to need for this next part of your life? And I tell you, you're going to find it. You're going to find that you already have the talents that you're going to need. And the second card for you is, each time I choose to tune into spirit guidance of the highest truth shows up for me. See, so if you ever feel the need, in these changing times, whenever you need to align yourself with your spirit guides, attune yourself to your spirits, and they will give you, a way. They will support you. They will help you to see where you have to take a look. All right. And the last one. Hunter, track down fears and desires. Track down your fears and desires. Again, I know this card is coming up pretty much lately, and I feel it's because it's an important time right now. On one hand, to allow ourselves to look at our fears, because when we look at our fears, sometimes looking at our fears is giving us a direction. If you look at your fear, it's telling you what wants to be healed next. So if you don't know right now where you should go, look at that. And I'm saying this because I remember when I started my whole, transformation, healing path, on that journey, I got to a point where, being an empath for me was so overwhelming that I didn't know what I desired. So if anybody asked me, what is it that you desire? I was like, I could tell you something on today, but I don't know if it's going to be the same desire tomorrow. And it had, it came with that not being able to trust in, whatever I was feeling that might be my desire. So what I did instead, and that's why it was helpful, and that's why I love when this card comes up, because it brings up both, right? So if it's harder for you to see what you desire, or maybe you might not even know what you desire, then follow your fears. Your fears are going to show you what wants to be healed next. And by doing that, by following one fear after another, and I'm not talking about, being afraid of spiders or being afraid of heights. No, I'm talking about fears of, being afraid of being yourself, being afraid, having anxiety when you come into social engagement, being fearful of not being loved, being fearful of not being enough, being fearful of being too much. Just to give you a couple of examples of what kind of fears we have as humans. And the more we look at those and the more we heal those in the way that we can, that's going to help you find a direction, but it's also going to help you become more clear of what it is that you truly want. All right? Okay, so if you resonated with the feather, these are your personal cards. And we're going to get started with, when I truly surrender my desires to the universe, a mighty force of faith can set in. There you go. The more you surrender your desires to the universe, a mighty force of faith can set in. I think the sentence doesn't need anything else in there. It's just, it's about letting go and allowing the universe to do its work. And for you, a second card is, I feel my way into faith one step at a time. Oh, I love that this card comes up this way. And this, that's why I chose these decks. I feel my way into faith one step at a time. So we just had the card that tells you the more you surrender and the more you have faith in the universe, the mighty force of faith will set in. It will help you bring that in. And here goes, I feel my way into faith one step at a time. Here it is. You don't have to, come into faith from one moment to another. Allow yourself to go on your own pace, right? It doesn't have to be fast. Go in your own pace. These cards definitely tell you that this week is going to be about looking at your faith, where to bring your faith. So allow yourself to tune in with that over and over again for this week. And the third card that we have for you is the wonderful stag. The stag energy, trust and thrive. Oh, see how that fits together? Because to tell you the truth, for me, trust goes with, fits definitely into faith, it's about trusting. It's about having faith in the universe and having trust. Both of these for me come together. Surrendering, letting go, allowing the universe to do their thing, and then having that trust and having that faith. So for you, it's a double way. The more it's a definite, the more you step into that trust of the universe, the more you surrender and the more you have faith, you will start thriving more and more, because you will be, in your alignment with the universe and with yourself. All right, my beautiful souls, that was it for today. If you liked the reading, please pass it on. If you have any empaths or highly sensitives around you, or anybody who is interested in anything that has to do with energies, pass this podcast along, send them the link, help me share this, these informations for more people out there. And so for this, thank you for listening, and have a wonderful time wherever you are. And as I always say, keep surfing your energy waves. Bye, everybody.